Okay, my YouTube friends, tonight we are going to stay in the 80s. We're going to move into 1984, and we're going to cover a guy named Joe Meeko. Well, Joe Meeko was a local guy to me. He's from the little town of Catasauqua, which is in the Lehigh Valley, near Allentown and Bethlehem and all that stuff. So he's right up the road from me. And in fact, my book about my club and other local stuff, you can see him featured on the cover there, right in the dead center, a little above there, that in the muscular development cover. Here were his big contests that he won. He started out with like Mr. Lehigh Valley and little stuff like that. But the Mr. America AAU 1984 overall was his big start, and that's after that was when this article came out, and this is an ad for his Joe Meeko Power Grips, which is shown here, and they were advertised all over the place. Unfortunately, I never did pick up a pair of those original ones. I did, however, just order a pair of knockoffs. I think this video from my friend Mr. Politano, Championship Muscle, where he's describing how to use the Meeko Power Grips, was from right around when Joe passed in 2009, unfortunately, at only 49, which was very sad. However, as you can see here, I mean, I think this picture represents his peak condition. He was 235. He was just under 5'8", and to carry 235 and be that ripped, he was right up there with any guys in the 80s in my. But he talks about his shoulder training here. Not a whole lot of exercises, but he does quite a few sets and reps of them. As he starts out with, as he says, you will want to do the hardest thing first, of course, warming up real well, but behind the neck presses, seated, and then he would switch over to the front. Sometimes he would concentrate more on one or the other, but he really liked the behind the neck ones. And that was his main mass builders. And then he would go over to lateral raises, and he's very specific about how to do them and not keeping your palms down throughout the whole movement. And he describes that here. And of course, again, this is kind of like a little ad for his Power Grips. But hey, you don't often see articles written by the man who the article is about. It's usually written by somebody else about the person, but this was actually written by Joe. So of course he's going to throw in an ad for his Power Grips, and you can't blame him. And then he talks about doing the rear delts, and he says that a lot of people undertrain the rear delts, and you really need to do them at least as hard, if not twice as hard. There he is again. His shoulders are huge and ripped. He looks awesome there. I've never seen him, look bad, really. And he talks about working slowly up, in 5-pound increments. He always kind of did a pyramid up. Sometimes would do a pyramid down. There he is on Muscle Up. That was one of the early magazines he was on. And even there, man, I mean, look at his abs. He's got like an 8-pack. It's huge all over. And then, oddly, the last exercise he talks about here is shrugs. And he does talk about sometimes using dumbbells, sometimes using barbells. Here he's using dumbbells. And again, you can see he's got the Meeko Power Grips, using them. Because the last thing you want to happen is your grip to give out when you're training back, shrugs, whatever. Here again is the ad for the Power Grips, which I looked for them. You cannot find the original Power Grips anyplace, but there's several different knockoffs out there. There he is again with the super broad shoulders on Iron Man. Good dude, good family guy, always had a big smile. There he is with this guy, Dr. Carlin Venus, who was a strongman in his own right back in those days. He was like 270 at about Joe's height, and was really strong. In the same magazine, they had this article, which was basically a muscle chart, and you can see that's Ray Menser. The number 2 there is pointing to shoulders, and they describe exercises for the deltoids or shoulder caps. All forms of pressing, dips, push-ups, etc. This is like pretty much everything you could throw at shoulders. of course, Joe gave us his favorites. And this was an outtake from Joe's obituary, which again was in 2009. He was only 49. There he is with his family and John Grimmick and his wife, I guess that is. It's definitely John Grimmick. And this picture was in my book, again, about my club, which you saw the cover of earlier. Really unfortunate, and as the statement said, the worst thing is that people don't get help. He internalized his pain. Obviously had some demons that he couldn't seem to get past, and took his own life when he was 49 years old. And he's not the only bodybuilder to do so, unfortunately. But that's about it. I want to thank you for watching, and please stay tuned, and I'm out.